let me tell you why I'm calling you specifically. If you're still good on time.
Sure.
The person that I talked to, who has worked with you before, thinks that you have a little bit more horsepower than your company is actually tapping into. And I don't know if you feel the same about that, but I really trust his opinion about people. And so I thought I'd just take it upon my initiative to call you and very quietly see if you might have an interest in keeping your ears open if a stronger situation than what you're doing right now surfaces.
Well, I still would be curious as to who suggested it.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that, but I would like to explain why. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't.
Okay.
This time I can't. The person that gave me your name is somebody that has reached a point in their career where they've hit a roadblock, and they are using me in order to help them leapfrog over that roadblock and to move into a position that they think they're ready for. And while I'm working with that person, nobody will ever know who that person is, and if you end up opting for that same relationship, I'd offer you that same confidentiality. You okay with that?
I appreciate that, yeah.
Okay.
That's
Ask me
important
that
to me.
again, I'll kill you.
You first.
Okay, so the question I have is, do you have an interest in keeping your ears open?
Absolutely.
And can I ask why? And I say that because there's so many people that I talk to who immediately say, I'm not interested right now, I love what I'm doing. Why the interest?
Well, I think it sounds like you focus on high caliber individuals. Sounds like you have a pulse on what's going on in the industry and where opportunities might lie. And it's always good to keep your ears open.
Okay, I think that's good logic. But again, there are people that have an interest in keeping their ears up in the industry, but they love what they're doing, and you couldn't pull them out of it for nothing. So, is there a reason why my call is a little bit more timely in your career now, maybe than other times?
Not really, but like I said, I always like to keep my ears open. If something interesting comes up, I'd love to hear about it, but no earth-shattering activity.
Okay, I appreciate the honesty. So just a general sense of opportunism.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
nothing wrong with that at all. Unfortunately, it doesn't meet the criteria that my clients have for me presenting somebody to them, and let me explain that, okay? This just might be an inappropriate time for the call. Two criteria that we have to achieve. Number one, you have to stand out in the top 20 percentile of your marketing skills. Based on the referral I got, you're there, so no problems with that. The second criteria is that at the time of my phone call to you, you're supposed to have a burning desire to get something accomplished professionally that you're not getting a shot at. And quite frankly, it doesn't sound like that's where you are, which is awesome. Have I hit it properly?
I could play this two ways. I could say yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
or I could say, well, now that you bring that up, I have been, wanting to take on a few new projects. I haven't had the opportunity to do so. So, it might be interesting to, let me think about it and see if I can get a fire built under me. Because the person could shut you down totally.
Just
and
stay
say,
in it, man. Just stay in it.
all right.
Just stay in it.
Okay.
Okay. So if you could kind of describe the variance between the projects that you're working on right now and the ones that you think would be utopian for your skills, what would that variance be?
Well, I think right now I'm probably a little siloed, probably not enough exposure across the organization. That would probably be one of the drawbacks, I think, in the role that I am in right now. So, I'm working on that within my organization to try to get greater visibility to the projects that I'm running, but, it doesn't always happen in a big company.
What's the likelihood that it would happen?
There's always change. Maybe 50-50.
Okay. All right. What would be the downside of you not doing anything different and just staying put?
Could fall into mediocrity, just kind of get lost in the shuffle. Sometimes it's difficult to rise above the fray once you've kind of been pigeonholed into, your little silo. So that would be the potential downside. But the upside is, there is always change, there is always growth opportunities, and, I've got a lot of great mentors in the organization, and so, really nice to capitalize on that.
If you had to make the choice right now as to which 50% you would go towards, what do you think would be most promising for you?
promising in terms of long-term career opportunity?
Yeah, doing the 50% and
Yeah.
staying and waiting for change, or doing the 50% and identifying something that might be right for you right now.
Well, realistically, it's, the upside of the 50%, if it's a great opportunity, that's probably more likelihood of driving future success. I mean, my 50-50 scenario, if it's a good opportunity, it could be 100% scenario.
Okay, so it's like a 51-49.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
She'll live fire
All right.
simmering.
Yeah, that 51-49 is not strong enough for me to
Right, I
invest the
appreciate that.
time and to really take you through some things. If you ever reach a point where you think you're really not hitting on all cylinders, then I'd like to be the person to talk to you. My firm is so strong that within 8 weeks of us sitting down and having an interview together, you will be turning in your notice and working for a company that makes you feel whole professionally. When you get to that point, give me a call and I would love to listen to you. And until then, I'd love to stay in contact with you. Just put you in a little bit of a different bucket, the bucket of let's stay up with each other. So how do you feel about that?
That sounds great.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
How would you like me to stay in touch with you?
Follow me on Twitter. No. Here's my phone number. Here's my personal email address.
Okay. We'll do it.
Okay.
I've
Thanks.
totally enjoyed the conversation and listening to where you're at right now in your career, and I promise you that information is safe with me. Okay? One last thing, actually two things I want to ask you. Since there's going to be a lot of time in between our conversations, I need you to earmark something about yourself that I can tag onto this conversation. Tell me something about you that I wouldn't know unless we sat down and had a glass of wine or something.
Oh, a secret. Good question. I'm not a very interesting person.
What hobby or?
Says you. I am good at wakeboarding.
Get out of here.
Wow.
For real?
Sort of.
Okay, that's awesome.
Well, for someone my age.
And where haven't you wakeboarded that you want to wakeboard?
Oh, Lake Powell.
Oh.
Interesting. All right, good. Last thing I just want to find out, is there anybody that you care about that may not be hitting on all cylinders right now that I might be able to help in your behalf?